In this video, I'll discuss Q4 FY25 result and Concall of 5-star business finance. So it is a MSME lender in Tier 5, Tier 6 cities of Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Telangana state. They mainly cater to the people who earns around 25,000 to 40,000 per month. Their average ticket size is around 4 lakh rupees. In terms of geography, their 40% AUM comes from Andhra Pradesh, 30% AUM comes from Tamil Nadu, and 20% AUM comes from Telangana. So let's talk about the Q4 FY25 result. So in terms of AUM, they grew by 25% in this quarter. Their AUM is around 11,900 crore. If we look at their AUM growth in last few quarters, like 4 or 5 quarters, their AUM growth is coming down every quarter. In the last year, they were growing around 40% kind of a rate, and this quarter they grew by only 25%. So the AUM growth is a really concerning thing in this company. But if we look at the industry, whole MSME industry, whole MFI industry, lending industry for say, both are impacted by the over leveraging of customers and rural economy also. So yeah, if we look at SBFC finance also, their AUM growth also came down in this quarter and also coming down if we see the last few quarters. So in terms of AUM growth, there is a real concern that how it will grow in the future, but the management is giving a guidance in a similar kind of range of 25% for FY26. So yeah, we have to see where the AUM growth is going. So that is the thing. In terms of disbursement, they grew their disbursement by 50% quarter on quarter. Okay, last quarter they done a disbursement of 1,000 crore. In this quarter they done a disbursement of 1,500 crore. But yeah, again year on year the disbursement growth is around 10%. So it is low if we see. But yeah, quarter on quarter I think they grew are in a reasonable rate. Okay, I think if we see MFI, if we see MSME also, last quarter was the peak of the crisis, but after December, January, the condition is better. If we see, and the management also saying the similar kind of thing, that Q4 it was better than the Q3, and this better will get better and better in the coming quarters also. So that is the thing with disbursement. We have to look at this parameter also very closely, that how the disbursement growth will be in the future, is going to be in the future. Okay. So in terms of asset quality, GNPA and NNPA both increased quarter on quarter. GNPA is at 1.8%, grew by 41 BPS year on year. So that is the thing with GNPA, and they are expecting a GNPA of around 2% in the medium term. Okay, less than 2% for say in the medium term. So that is the GNPA number. NNPA number also increased quarter on quarter, and it is highest in the last few quarters for like 6 quarters. In NNPA and GNPA both are at the highest point. So we have to look at the asset quality also in the future, that how the asset quality is going. In terms of collection efficiency, they done a in this quarter collection efficiency also came down at I think it is around 97% versus 97.3% in last quarter. Collection efficiency, the management is saying that mainly we get the hit because of the Karnataka bill. Okay, because we all know that there has been a bill in Karnataka for all lenders. Yeah, it may not be for formal economy, uh, it is for, I think it is for the informal economy, but yeah, the customers are like we know. So that is the point with collection efficiency, but the management is expecting Karnataka to come back in next few quarters. In terms of 1 plus DPD and 30 plus DPD, it is a very important number because it gives us minute details about the trend, where the trend is going. When the industry is not doing good, we can, when the industry condition is changing, we can get the minute details from 1 plus DPD. Because for 1 plus DPD is what? It means that if a borrower default, do not pay EMI for just one day, that is 1 plus DPD. 30 plus DPD is if a borrower do not pay EMI for 30 days, then it is 30 plus DPD bucket. Okay, so if we look at 1 plus DPD and 30 plus DPD, yeah, it have increased quarter on quarter, and it is around highest level if we see in last 6 quarters, if I am not wrong. Okay, but if we look at the rate of change, rate of increase of 1 plus DPD and 30 plus DPD, the rate of change is coming down. I mean last quarter, I mean in quarter 2, 1 plus DPD increased by 45 BPS. In Q2, 1 plus DPD increased by 39 BPS. In Q3, increased by 36 BPS. But in Q4, 1 plus DPD increased by 15 BPS. So if we look at the increase, rate of increase, that came down in quarter 4. So we have to look at this parameter very closely in the future also, that how the parameter is changing. So that is the point with 1 plus DPD and 30 plus DPD. Okay. So in terms of PAT, if we talk about the PAT, they have grew their PAT. They grew their PAT by 19% in this quarter. They registered a PAT of 280 crore in this quarter. So in terms of PAT also, it is not doing very well. If we see the just 18% growth in PAT is not enough for a company who have like 12,000 crore market, 12,000 crore AUM. Okay, and in terms of growth also, the management is saying that PAT growth will be around 12 to 15% in FY26. So management is expecting to PAT growth will further is going to come down further. So it is not a good thing in terms of a company if we see, because what we want, that if a company, if a NBFC or any company can grow their PAT at a faster pace, but here the management is expecting is PAT growth is going to be come down in the future. So that is not a really good thing. So that is the point with PAT. If we talk about the ROA, it is around, I think, 7 to 8%. If I am not wrong, I do not have the number, but the management is saying that ROA will continue in that range only, and in terms of ROE also, it will be in the range of like the current range of 18 to 19% in the future also. They are not expecting to increasing ROE. They are not expecting ROE to increase in the future. So that is also a really disappointing thing, that if a company do not increase their ROE, how the shareholder of that company will make money. So that is the thing, because in financials or any company, if we see, ROE is the most important thing. If we see, if we look at ROE of any company, it will give you the whole picture of that company. So if a company can grow their ROE, then the company is going in a right direction. But if a company cannot grow their ROE, so the direction is not right. So in terms of 5-star business, the management, as I said, management is not expecting ROE to grow at a fast pace in next year. So that is the thing with ROE. And if I talk about the SBFC and 5-star, what is the final verdict? So if we look at SBFC, yeah, for both of this company the AUM growth is coming down quarter on quarter for last 6-7 quarter. So that is a concerning thing. But if we see their disbursement, both of the company, if we see their disbursement, disbursement increased quarter on quarter. Like Q3 was the peak of the crisis, and in Q4 the environment is better. So in terms of all the parameter, SBFC anyway is the winner if we see, because its ROE of SBFC is growing at a good rate. If we see in terms of AUM growth also, they are expecting AUM growth to held in that position of 30% growth. But if we see 5-star business finance, then the management is expecting a growth of 25%. And in terms of all the parameters, I mean most of the parameters, in terms of most of the parameters, SBFC is anyway a better player. In terms of valuation also, both of them are trading in a very similar kind of price to book ratio. So SBFC is better player, but yeah, we have to look at SBFC also, that how their AUM growth will increase. Okay, so that is the point with SBFC also. So that is for the video, and thanks for watching.